It's another lovely, lovely, lovely day of me streaming. Yeah, I was streaming Gears of War Reloaded with... Not streaming, I was playing Gears of War Reloaded with Byron. And we got through the first 2 acts, and once I get through... Hello, brother. Once we get through all 5 acts, well, he and I are going to go back and probably get all the contacts we've missed. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to do with streaming it. Probably definitely want to probably stream it, even if it's just by myself. The original trilogy, probably late September, because that's when the Gears of War EDO come out in October. So, yeah, I guess latter half of September, keep an eye out for me streaming the Gears trilogy, unless I stream it sooner with Byron, or by myself. Who knows? Yes, we're back to the Crime Scene Cleaner. Got partway done with this one level on Nightmares, and we need to finish that off. Also, I was looking through settings, and I switched to streamer mode, which we'll see what that changes, if anything. Now, usually streamer modes in games are to make sure that, like, copyright music's not in there. So, game sounds quiet. Presuming the game is at good sound level. If not, then I should be informed. Like, hey, game's too quiet, man. Can't hear nothing. Okay, so I was wondering where kegs go. Apparently there's a keg that goes up there. Now I remember. I remember where I was storing kegs so I could find a location for them. At least I was thinking about putting chairs and such. And that would have went right in the face. All of it in the face. Okay. Wait, no, that's marking that because it needs to move to some nebulous location. Okay. Looking like up there is for October. I've got a couple of scary games that I'm definitely scary, creepy games or whatever that I'd like to stream. I know I have the 2 A Plague Tale games that I might save for there. I get to, if there's like a spooky like DLC or mode for a game, I might do that. I'd be tempted to do Undead Nightmare from Red Dead Redemption, from the first Red Dead Redemption, because I feel like that's a good spooky, creepy, god damn it, spooky, creepy thing. Plague Tale can be pretty scary. I need to look and see. I got some games. I can't remember what all they are offhand, though. But I've got some games I think would be appropriate for Halloween. I mean, there's a chance I'm going to stream some of Gears of War E-Day in October, potentially. Or I might just play that all offline just because I want to... Just kind of as a me thing. But I might stream some of that even as well. Yeah, I'll have some games for that time. I can't remember them all offhand. See if you can't get up by that way. Wait, I think I know. I think I know how to get up there. Yep, that's about what I was thinking. Yeah, I need to. I actually have a group on my Xbox dashboard that's named Stream. So I got some games there. I need to look there and see. Oh, Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2. That's two more games I'd want to stream. Because those are... I remember playing that game can... Those are the first one. I remember the first one being... Definitely scary. Definitely a good Halloween game. For sure. I think. There we get a bucket back here. Okay, you need to go to next house over. I think. So yeah, I'll have some scary, creepy games for that time period. That's what I'm thinking. Come with me, Mr. Bucky. It's Bucky. Maybe buy fishing mice instead of Fisher Price. And parody reference and all that, as long as it's legally distinct and clearly supposed to be not recreating a brand. Boop, 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 under here, okay. Let's put you, for the moment at least, right here. Yes, I've seen that game. I've been interested to, especially once I have some money, I would love to play that because it does look really awesome. And maybe if I can scrape together a few dollars, I'll buy it. I know it's on Xbox. Yeah, that's one I've wanted to play just because. I might sprinkle it in there then. I also want some month disclosure. I need to see how many days there are for streaming, and may even be crazy and stream more than I have. We'll see. Hopefully by then I'll have a job. It'll be unfortunate because I may or may not be able to stream a whole lot more often in a thing of like longer streams, but maybe I can try to do more days of stream. I'll figure it out. I'm trying to think a lot about July, August. I still got, also let's say like 2 months before it's September. Then October's in 3 months, so I get time to think about it. I get time. Ooh, key. That's gonna let me inside there. You've seen better days. Let's get that bolt out of your hand. Oh, up high. Yeah, just take that for a second. While I finish up with this.
Is this your perfect hiding space?
Not yet, but it will be when we fall deeper into the nightmare. So the Wicked One won't find us?
I don't know if I can do it.
You have to. This is our only chance.
I got a bad feeling that this spot didn't work for you, ma'am. Let out a whole lot of Easter egg references to a lot of mainly horror movies, which is neat. Oh yeah, that would definitely be. Yeah, that'd be a good use for it. Actually, yeah, that would be a good Halloween game that was gonna have references like that. Yeah. And again, I've seen the game. I think I saw where it had been remastered recently. I forgot why I'd seen it brought up. Maybe it was like the Apogee Entertainment who made or published a lot of the awesome games back in the 90s, they may have mentioned that it had gotten remastered. That's when I first heard about the game. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to at least consider it for just to play. You know, I don't stream it just to play it. Oh, the kids go into the house. That's what it is. And now I know where they go. All right. Want to finish out here before I go into the house. So in the cabins, there's 2 more things of evidence and apparently a piece of trash that I'm completely missing. Okay. Let me put the bucket right here. Just gonna try to, as much as I can, prep for going in there. Okay, down there. Just put you here, that way I can stack some more bags into it later. So within... Already went there. I don't imagine I missed it back there. But has some cool looking levels. There's a level that's basically Frankenstein's castle. There's a Crystal Lake themed level. It's really something. Man, it sounds like it would be something. It sounds really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I probably just need to just add it to my Xbox wish list. What in the hell? Yeah, I'll have to add blood to my Xbox wish list. That way I don't keep forgetting about it. I wonder if I need to... Okay, so is that the actual cabins themselves that they're indicating that something's missing? 2 somethings, actually. Would be here. Well, that would at least give me the evidence I'm missing. Do you think Redneck Rampage will ever get any kind of remake? I don't know if it would. It might be one of those games that's just so... What's what I'm trying to look for? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just randomly remade it. That's what I guess is what I can say. Because there might be enough people to go, hey, I remember this game. Because there's a lot of games that were released. And I've always a lot of games that can be released. Definitely they'll remake a game and I hadn't heard of it prior, but I feel like also they retool is saying that I know that James H. from Dead Meat had picked up from somebody else. I think they picked up from James H. from Dead Meat. Everyone's movie, in this case, every video game is somebody's favorite video game of all time. It's like every movie is somebody's all-time favorite movie. So there are probably people out there that really loved Redneck Rampage, and they got the opportunity, they'd remake it. It's just probably a question of just, is it in the hands of people who want to see it remade, or they look at it and just go, that's a silly little game, nobody want a remake of that. So I wouldn't put money on it, but I also would not be 100% surprised if randomly we hear that it got remade or remastered. Or also have to... The other thing that can probably come up can be that some games, their content probably didn't age very well. I'd have to go through... I also have to almost play through Redneck Rampage again and see if there's any jokes that didn't age well at all. It was a game from the 90s, so some things are haha funny then, and now it's like, you can't say that. So it's honestly maybe the one thing that I would say could be an issue of just some of the humor didn't age well, and then it's like, yeah, we can't remake this. Or they can't rematch it. They might be able to remake it potentially, but also might be a thing of, in the 90s you had Jeff Foxworthy doing you might be a redneck if jokes. I don't know if rednecks are viewed... I don't know if they're viewed... I don't know how they're viewed. You're not gonna, because you shouldn't at least have somebody going, oh, you can't make fun of murder. It's like, it's white people. White people, we can have a lot more being made fun of us. It's not going to be, per se, us being kicked down at. I remember playing it. I am almost certain that if I were to see moments from it, I'd be like, I remember that. I don't remember details, but I know for a fact I know for a fact that me and Dad thought it was freaking hilarious. It was really funny. And again, you stack it up against, Doom and Duke Nukem 3D and Blake Stone and Quake and a lot of other games. There's a reason that all of them and Wolfenstein, there've been, reboots and remasters and multiples in the entries and all of that. Redneck Rampage was definitely a thing of kind of sort of like a product of its time kind of thing. And there's elements that just... It's not going to be winning Game of the Year candidates, to say the least. But it's something where it's just... It was very amusing, and I still think it probably could be kind of amusing. Again, I would not be surprised to learn but there's this one I don't know, homophobic joke, or this one super insensitive joke. I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least a few of those in there. But I still think for the majority of it, it's still a great game. Again, just if it were to be completely redone, you'd probably need to make sure that it's not it's not offensive in some way inadvertently. It might have been someone's first go, or second or third go at it, possibly. It may have been people as well that are just... They just didn't have a big studio behind them. So they're probably having to do a lot of it all by themselves. Where is this other piece of trash? I don't want this to take forever in 3 days, but... It definitely would be a thing of very small team. There's a small team pop publisher going like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know. Doom clones as first person shooters are still. I'd like to dig into the history of everything and see at what point did we go from calling stuff Doom clones to, you know, it's a first person shooter. Give me the genre its name that we know it as today. That'd be interesting to figure out. But it probably was a thing of, you know, understandably so, that, you know, like, hey, people really like this genre of games. There was a bunch being made, and it's still, I don't know if it's the easiest genre necessarily to make stuff in, but it's one that's still around. There's probably a bit of a boom for games like that, so a publisher went, oh yeah, sure, whatever, we'll publish it. Because I don't know how easy it would be to self-publish a thing, because we were still a few years out from like Steam and GOG.com and all that. So yeah, this is a secret spot. You're not right. I am starting to think I need to just, like, move on, because I am not seeing any trash anywhere. Above all else, Redneck Rampage was just people being allowed to just have an idea that somebody who's going to want to crunch their numbers be like, oh, no, there's no market share for them, blah, 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 blah. Corpo, make the money line go up. Don't know anything about nothing. I'm just going to, whatever, stuff. It was a game that was just, somebody said, I'm going to try this idea and do it. And they did it. And in order to have great ideas, you need to have people also just trying the silly, the weird, the stupid, the whatever. Because there's a degree of, you don't know what's going to work until you try it. And nobody might think of doing that today. Whether it's because, like, well, the age, well, like the time to do that's past, or it's just not the cultural zeitgeist or whatever. DOS was rough. Mouse movement, small key, vertical aiming was kind of garbage. Auto aim was a coin toss. Thankfully, I played on the source port. Yeah, when it comes to having a game like that be playable now, you do have to do a lot of just, you're working around how things were programmed then. Because it would be a very particular way you had to, that everything was like, going to be like pathing and all that when it came to the back end. And a very certain way that the hardware would have to run. Where maybe there was a very, very jerry-rigged way to get something to work for DOS. But now we've got the modern age, so we can do it probably better, but again, you have to tell it to do it that new way. Which there should be a lot more backwards compatibility of stuff. But it certainly is a problem. Because hardware just doesn't operate like it used to, and you'd have that they programmed something in a certain way because they just couldn't anticipate 20, 30 years from now how it would be programmed then. I do not know. I do not know where that piece of trash is. Yeah, last idea of what to do, and then I'm just gonna just move inside and hope that it'll. Studio moved on to better things after Redneck Rampage. Okay, I think it's just they just probably just like, hey, let's just try this idea and see what happens. And they may have just been like, yeah, we're just gonna do whatever. It's not gonna be the best ever, but hey, let's do it. Say we did it and learn some lessons and go from there. There's definitely been several games over the years that just came out of just a game jam. If you play Goat Simulator, that was the studio just like, yeah, just make stuff. And it wasn't like, oh, you're gonna like take like 3 years to do whatever. It's like you have like 2 days, 3 days, a week maybe to just make a game. It doesn't have to be great, it doesn't have to be anywhere close to polished. Just, you know, make something. And people learn to just love the jank of Goat Simulator. That was part of its charm. And there's definitely a myriad of other games that it's not some big studio that spent, you know, a long time doing it. I think Portal was just like someone in college just made Portal, and it's one of the best games ever. So we definitely need a lot more of people just trying things and being allowed to just do. Because when you got something that's being creative like that, you're going to want to, at a certain point, just have people just trying it, not worry about it's going to succeed or not. That's so that can be so just. You can be scared to fail, and that can lead to you not trying something that might actually work. Because oh well, it may not work. Apparently when I respawn, I also inadvertently despawned a bucket. Yeah, when it comes to creative stuff, you cannot and really should not be trying to do it always on a thing of like, oh, what will make us lots of money? It needs to just be a thing of what just works. What's a good story? What's a good game mechanic? What's a good whatever it might be? That's why I hate how embedded corporations seem to be with everything now. It can be a reason why it is a reason why we don't always necessarily see new and cool things coming along, because we needed to make the 9th in the series because, well, it keeps selling really well. Well, it's a thing that can be diminishing returns, and there's just corporations that are just gonna be more than happy to just bleed something dry and move on to the next thing. The way that I look at it is like, you can't just be grabbing the next thing that just became new and shiny and then milk it dry, because at a certain point you'll run out of stuff to milk dry if you don't just let art to a great degree just thrive and do its thing. Art is just something that it needs to be. It doesn't have to be for greater good. It has to be an expression of something, or raising a question, or just sometimes just being an escape from everything else. And it doesn't have to revolutionize the world. It just has to be neat and be cool and be awesome. And just give us something to do for a few hours. Where is that last piece of garbage? I'm never seeing it get highlighted anywhere. Probably gonna be a fun thing of the last piece of trash that it's telling me about. It's not actually in that area, actually. It's actually somewhere else, technically, and for some reason it can't tell me. I know the count for the trash in this area went up when I destroyed some boards. I don't see anything else that's boarded up. Those are solid things. I can't destroy those. There's no highlights anywhere. Oh my lord. Some of that blend into the stupid ground. Okay, it's just done. Okay. Okay. In here. Saying this about like studios being allowed to do what they want to do and all that. I'm now just thinking about all of the studio that are going independent or having layoffs at Microsoft. It's like a bunch of people from id got laid off, but then id released something saying like, well, it's just we're back now to the level we had when we did Doom 2016, and there's people thought the industry are going to they would be wise and they know it to try to snatch up some of the people that worked on Doom 2016 and Eternal and Dark Ages and all that. It would just be It'd be silly if you didn't at least try to hire them if you could, or at least try to direct them to some people that could use them. So I need to play the DLCs for Doom Eternal. I think Doom Eternal kind of got swept into just a general malaise I had about a bunch of stuff in 2020 because of the world shutting down. I kind of just... It was a weird time. For sure. But yes, I need to go and see if I can play those DLCs, and maybe something I can add as a long-term thing is just actually streaming the recent Doom trilogy from start to finish. Cause I streamed 2016 back in May because it was the 10-year anniversary of it coming out, and also like 10 years of me first attempting to do streaming and content creation stuff. Beep, puppy, boop, it disappears. Okay. Let's close this oven because we're not a bunch of heathens. That's where the kegs go. This is where those chairs go. Okay. I'm thinking of games I'd love to get a remaster. I'd love to get Bulletstorm get a remaster, because that game was amazing. It frustrated it for whatever reason. It's just I don't know what it was. It just... I don't know why they didn't want to give it a sequel. They remade it already with the full clip edition, but I'd want it to be done again and then to give the game a sequel. Because that was just... It was so fun where they're just like, here, kill these people in all these creative ways, and you get points for it so you can upgrade it and all that, and I forgot what they called it. I don't know, it was called the whip. But you can just grab people and just like get really creative ways to just end up killing people. I loved it. Fell in love with it the moment I saw it, and I loved the humor of it as well. That'll probably just always be one of my... I loved it, and I'd want more people to have loved it games. If it was a thing like it didn't sell all the time, I wouldn't know why it is. I thought it was great. People didn't like it, I just think they're dumb. That's why I might be just... Because almost anything else, like, yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, this is one of them. I'm like, no, if you don't like it, then you're dumb. Because it's awesome. I guess that might be one of my I'll die on this hill kind of things of note. This game was awesome. It's another one where I played the full clip edition. And I remember General Serrano rattling off a bunch of insults, and for a second, I'm like, I don't know, some of these jokes, could fly, because it came out in 2011, and whenever I was playing it again, I was worried a little bit that maybe some of the jokes wouldn't fly. Known as Zatrix Entertainment, they did a trilogy of Panic Rampage, Quake 2, Kingpin. They did a trilogy of hold on a second. Let me see if I can process what you're saying. You're saying a trilogy of Redneck Rampage. Are you saying there were 3 Redneck Rampage games? Am I just like misreading that? Vengeance for Quake 2 is definitely awesome. Then Kingpin Life of Crime. That sounds like an interesting game. Whoops. About that. It does sound like an impressive catalog. There's probably also a chance that at a certain point they just shut down because they just didn't have any more ideas. There, you're going with me, Bubba. Game, Rise Again, Deer Hunting game. Yeah, that sounds like how you do a trilogy for that. That sounds like how you do the trilogy. That fell not where I wanted it to. Feet. Yeah, with Bulletstorm. Called it Redneck Deer Hunting. Yeah, that sounds like what they'd call it. But like General Serrano, he's definitely not a nice dude. Definitely wanted to demean people. And a reason I'd be a little hesitant to stream. Well, I think I streamed. I think I streamed Bulletstorm ages ago. That's another one of those buried in the junk drawer of my main channel. I must have been. I think that would have been the full clip edition. I think so. But again, I'd be hesitant to stream Bulletstorm in case Serrano says something that's like really not appropriate anymore. I might be just being overly cautious. I'd rather be overly cautious than not.
You need to repeat the cycle. Slay them all in the name of the Wicked One.
Oh, hail the Wicked One.
I think back when I was like making a lot more content, I had a decent idea of what I was thinking about doing. Not that I knew what I was doing per se, but at least then I was like, at least to some degree, like enjoying myself, not probably overthinking it too much. I need to try to get back to that mindset, but it can be hard once you start being overly cautious and worried and all that. I'm just gonna leave you there. I want to
Room cleanliness is improving.
clean up everything first. A lot just throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall when I was doing the YouTube channel. I need to just see if I can go back to doing that, not worry about everything. Not trying to be too worried about, like, oh, will this, like... will this have views or not? Because I've almost never had anything that seemingly was showing evidence of, like, having attention or not. There's probably also a few times where something was, and then I, like, overthought something. Or, like, people were going to be on board, but then I just didn't stick to it. I didn't stick with what I was doing. I just psyched myself out or got too busy from work or whatever. Then I just, if I was potentially going to have momentum with building up an audience or whatever, I just lost it because I just stopped.
Room cleanliness is improving.
Something that weighed on me a little bit is if I'd found a way to stick with doing content creation stuff, who knows where I would be right now. I'm not saying I would have been, like, super successful or whatever, but may I'd have at least a little bit more of an audience, possibly.
Air purification complete.
Or maybe I actually could be making a few bucks off of this, at least. And maybe it's a thing of, by now I at least would know, could I do content creation or not, or is it just not my wheelhouse? Move your dumb chair. I don't think I got all my kegs. I know the thing I'd love to try to get back to doing if I could, and maybe I could have just stuck with, was just trying to use the Rockstar editor to keep making silly little moments and clips and all that. Because that's what had me initially make YouTube channel of the Great Czar N. I was like, well, I need a YouTube channel so I can upload the, it's like the shorts, the videos I made. So I'd upload them there, that way I could, like, share them with people. the biggest thing that I've always had to try to I've struggled with. Just I need to get through the I don't know what I'm doing phase so I can get to the I actually kind of know what I'm doing phase. And yeah, that's why this is a big thing for me. It's like I need to just see if I can stick with this for 4 years so that I can say I actually truly gave all the content creation stuff a chance.
Need to empty the trash can first.
Yeah, I need to just treat this like a fun hobby. I need to remember just to have fun. I truly do. And it's just the hardest thing because I also want to just... I do this also because I want to get something done and say, hey, I achieved something. And if it can be hard sometimes, I'm trying to balance between like have fun, it's a hobby and all of that, versus no, I want to like achieve XYZ thing with it. But if I do more of the achieve XYZ thing with it, I may end up not having fun with it anymore. Which to me would defeat the whole point. Because I'd want this to be something that I actually truly enjoy doing, not job that just drives me insane by me having to just not do what I want and not doing the way that I want. Because I'd love for it to be that, well, what do you do for money? Well, you know, I play video games, I talk about history, I talk about pro wrestling, and I share my experience with IT, I teach people stuff, that's what I'd love to do. You've seen better days, Bubba. Come with me. Trash bag. Trash bag goes in the trash. Okay, I think I now need to... I need to grab that trash bag before I leave. Alright, we're going to scrub dip this. Doesn't matter what the outcome is as long as you're having fun. That's how I view content in streams. Yeah. Yeah, there's... I think it's also just a thing of our current economic system is no, you must work to survive. You cannot just have fun. And we need to get the world to a point where it's like, well, no, your basic needs are met. And you can just do whatever, and it is because you want to do it or because you find it fun. We have the resources for it. The human species has the ability. We have more than enough food, water, and shelter and all that. And I want to live in that world where it's the Star Trek series, where people are doing,
So many signs. No one to care.
where just people in Star Trek, for example, they have food and medical care and everything they need. They can do whatever they want. And I want to live in that world. We don't have it yet. Gotta get to the point where I need to pay my bills. And I just have a thing of like, I don't want to do my job anymore. But I need to do my job. I need to do IT quality assurance for other people for at least some more amount of time. That way I can pay off bills. That or win the lottery. If you happen to know where a gold bar is buried, I'll cut you off a piece of the profits for that gold bar. But yeah, it's just. I've also had the problem as well of just I always have a hard time starting something new because like, well, it's not being productive. It's like, well, I watch pro wrestling. That's not productive either. I play video games. That's never been productive. There's never been some like end goal to it. I'm doing those things because I enjoy doing them. Why can't I do something else? Of course, that's probably a thing like, well, you could be watching pro wrestling. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Just before I go babble for like 30 minutes, it makes no freaking sense. Just, I do need to just enjoy life more as a whole. Alright, so we just did fire parties over modern art. This one's gonna be a mind screw. I'll see if I can get the cassette there as well. I think something that I've occasionally had a problem as well is like I will stream, and if nobody is watching, or just I don't know if anybody's watching, nobody's interacting with me, I can have a problem of just I'm doing something that head.
There's too much stuff piled up inside. Everything starts to fall apart, even reality itself.
Yeah, we have a problem, Kowalski. But the thing of like if I don't know somebody's watching, and I'm just like
Cleaning artist reporting for duty.
I'm just like streaming a game, playing a game, and nobody's talking to me, I go through the thought of, well, why am I streaming if nobody's watching? I can just not worry about having the other PC on, and I don't have to worry about all that is extra steps. I'm playing this all by myself. I'm going through extra steps just to have the same experience as if I just did it offline. Which is why I like when you chit chat with me sometimes, because then I know somebody's watching. It helps. Alright, this is one that's a severe mind screw. It really is. This one in the story, this mission was a lot of running around. So I think that just need is just the worst days are the ones where I sit here and nobody's saying anything. That's hard to get through. Okay, so you gonna go here. No, 6. Get a Bucky. That. Yeah, pure detergent. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'd say that's probably fairly accurate. Just having people at all to just kind of like get you back to reality is always nice. It's something that I value in the most important people. It's just every once in a while, sometimes politely, sometimes not so politely, probably. Usually politely. Just saying like, yeah, no, that's not the case. It's not something to worry about. Or it's like, no, you don't have to worry about it, you know. Because, you know, just having a reminder of people, like, caring, having a reminder of just, you say, like, just having that thing of, like, no, your thought was not correct. You're worried about nothing. Or it's like, no, I noticed the effort. You don't gotta worry about it. Okay, so we're gonna need to bring more realistic paintings here, I think. I don't think any of those go here. I am going to attempt to have some piles laid out. There we go. Yeah.
The guy from above calls this place the hallway of the borderland. He said we have to guard every gate until reinforcements arrive.
Oh,
Even
really?
at the cost of our lives?
Even at the cost of your souls.
Cost of your souls. That seems kind of a steep price, man. Okay. Best certain point, you're just diving in and just rolling with it. All the trash. In here, we're going to be looking for statues. I think I can handle that. Let's clean up that chair. Actually, move the chair and the painting. I think that would go in the first area. Somebody got stabbed or beaten here, possibly. Okay. I am not immediately seeing where the rest of the blood is. Let's just get stuff back to the one realm. Put you here. I was just in here. Let's boop there. That's there. And then again, you will back to the starting area. Campsite. Or does it? Wait, this one doesn't go here. There's someone like banging on the floor above me. Playing this, I'd be running in circles trying to find all that's what this level is. You are running in circles trying to find all the stuff. And it's just trying to remember what goes where, and there's a lot of just something that I did was just I'd get to this middle area and just put stuff here and come back to it later. That way I can have a central area to look like, okay, I remember that goes here and that goes there. So this is, it's my opinion, probably the better way to do it. Middle area gets to be a bit of a cluster sometimes, but I can just try to sort stuff out. Try to keep stuff together. Painting, do you go? More square. Alright, so you all will just chill here, I suppose, for the time being. I'll get a better way to sort those paintings. Is there any other stuff here? You definitely don't go here. Paintings. Go here. Interesting. Excuse me, I need to do this, thank you. Okay. We have found the parts for the red dinosaur. That goes there. I don't remember how long this took when I was doing it on the Xbox version of it. Probably a long while, because this level, even in the story, takes a while. I think if you were to see before I started the nightmare level, while I was hovering over it first, that took me like 2.5 hours to get this done. This not be... Does this not go with this guy? Huh. Not missing a rib. I think... No, there it is. That's where that part goes. Okay. Big red dino. Okay. So, I'll see a dinosaur part up here. Thank you for holding it. You're still missing some parts. This looks too rectangular for that first area. Just gonna check real quick to make sure. think might go somewhere here. There, you go over there. Okay. That was an easy one to place. That was so easy to place. Yay. Okay. You there. It's just this one of the main story is, and it's a similar thing here where just you have stuff just everywhere. So many things are not even close to the area they're supposed to be in, so it's a lot of running around. Definitely a lot of moments of just not being able to find where the heck something is. Of course, with that, you're just walking through the museum. Normally, with this, you're jumping around through the portals. Hey, buddy, you gotta go. How about you just... There you go. Just take a load off, buddy. Nope. There. Okay. Do a quick flip-flop, because I was grouping chairs and I see all that furniture looks the same. There's something to be. I guess Wolf 3D would be a decent one. Yeah, of course, Wolf 3D was a thing of they can only make stuff, but so different with this, though it's probably kind of an opposite problem of there's just
Back on the wall.
there's just a lot of areas to look through, and there's stuff that looks definitely different, but you're also just trying to find, okay, where's this one item I can't find? We have the details to be able to do that. Where does the egg go? It's not going in here. There we go. Pterodactyl egg. There we go. I think you'd go in here. Maybe now, may actually go out here. There we go. Let's grab this painting, which I don't think is square enough for the first area, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, this first area, they are square. They're definitely square. I kind of know where those go. I'd probably be a little more aware of where things went if I just played the story. 3D, which one do you prefer more, Blackstone or Wolf 3D? Blackstone, but that's just not because Wolf 3D is bad, but because Wolf 3D is where it started, and then is the reason like I prefer Doom, for example, is that Wolf 3D laid the groundwork, and then Blackstone and Doom and others just took what it did, just kept adding and adding and adding to it. So it'd be a thing of also would be fair to it's not fair to talk about, do you prefer like GTA 3 or you prefer later ones? Like, well, I prefer the later ones because they did more with it. And with Wolf 3D and with GTA 3, it's where they had to start. They had to start somewhere. They're laying the groundwork. And I remember playing the definitive edition of the GTA trilogy, and playing Doom 3, even Vice City felt weird because it was like, I'd do a mission, I'm like, oh, it's already over. And it felt, especially GTA 3, felt almost like bare bones, but that's because they were setting up the framework. They're laying down the groundwork. Other games came along and added to it and made it better. But I'd say Blake Stone, it's also a thing of just it at the time, I'd say even now to a degree, it's still, I'd say Blake Stone probably now feels kind of like basic and passe, but at the time it's just like, oh, you like talk to other NPCs, even you don't talk to them much there. But like Wolfenstein and Doom, it was just like, yeah, just shoot everything. And all here is like, well, no, like some are friendly, some aren't, and that's like, it's like, hey, if NPCs today, but at the time it's like, oh, that's neat, that's different, yeah. So Wolf 3D needs the respect, but again, Blake Stone just it did it better, as it should have. This is an area that was always kind of hard to navigate, I remember. Oh, that's a freaky piece of art. Does that guy not go here? No, it does. Just that one thing was sitting in the way. That's what was throwing it off, I think. Yep, you go here. You. Yep, you go right there. As you get through this nightmare level, you can open more and more doors. It can help you just have stuff flow a little more easily, possibly. Which is nice.
Unclog the pipes. Get this thing running.
Okay. Crab flap. Okay, there's no good way to do that. Navigate this area, apparently. Well, I need to get up there. come back up here again, damn it. Quick comes around, this is Doom, but on 3D, because living meat covered in computer parts. Hardcore just works with black magic, but does that in-game engines. Yeah, again, just Quake is, again, it's how things work at their best, where it's somebody does something great, then somebody else comes along and says, well, I got a slightly better way to do it, and I can make it even better. It's something that can be really amazing about technology when it's new, and going back to just letting creative stuff be allowed to do its thing. People will give it time, and
Back where you belong.
I think we did play the first Quake when it came out. I think so. I think that's because we played a bunch of shooting games like that. That was Dad's favorite thing to do. Dad loves shooting games, so, and it's probably another thing like, ooh, the people who made Doom made this? Ooh, we'll definitely buy it. We'll definitely play it for sure. Ooh. Is there anything else in here? I don't think so. I'll get over there. Open it up. Close it real quick. Oh, nope, okay. Yeah, it's just we thought that. I'm trying to think of all the things in the genre I would have played. Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Doom 2, Duke Nukem 3D, Quake, Half-Life, Redneck Rampage is one we definitely played. I'm trying to think of what else we played that was in there, in that genre. Blake Stone. Man. I love them both. I don't know if I had a strong preference. I have probably the stronger connection to Doom because I've played it more. You know, something that when Dad was in North Carolina without me and Mom for a few months, it was something that we bonded over with in letters, and I have a feeling that I've had more people that I know who have played the original Doom than Quake, but I think both of them are really, really good. Again, just Doom is the one that I'm going to have a bit more love to, probably because, again, I've played it a lot more. But there's nothing wrong with Quake, it's just I've played Doom more. And Doom is just done more for me in my life. That's all in these areas for now. I think this is what I'm going to be hanging up a lot more art. Dinosaur tail.
The Wicked One needs chaos and entropy to thrive. Make sure nothing is where it should be. Nothing!
Yeah, I thought this is where this door went. This is going to be the T-Rex's tail. I know that with Quake, there's a lot more. I'm not sure if lore is a word for it, but there's definitely like. Well, Doom has lore technically, but it's lore that you don't necessarily need to know to enjoy the game. I know that there's several Doom novels. There's probably a few comics from that time that explain that Doom Marine was a Marine that refused to shoot on civilians, and he just punched his commanding officer in the face, and going to Phobos, the moon Phobos, was a punishment of how dare you violate direct orders, you're going to this moon to be punished. And then Doom happened. You, I think, are going to go to the first area. Yeah, I think there's a lot of the lore of Quake that I'm not the most familiar with. It's not like there's anything like the humans are being invaded by the Strong, I think it was. Thoughts on the other games, 2, 3, Arena, Quake 4. I mean, Quakes 2, 3, and 4, I thought, they were fun, they were good games, I think Quake Arena, I know that I loved playing against the bots, and I thought that was a fun one to play. I never played against other people because we didn't have anything better than dial-up until I was almost 18 in 2007. But just playing against the bots with that kind of like arena, fighting in Quake Arena. Like I don't think I've played. So going back to like I've played the Doom games a lot more than the Quake games. I haven't played those games very much. I played Arena quite a bit. I remember it being really fun, but I don't know if I played the other Quake games like 2, 3, or 4 very much, or even the original very much. I was like, oh, this is neat, and then I was probably off to something else. Not because they were bad, but because just I feel like with Doom and Doom 2, because it can be so. That's not painting back there. There is like just so little need to know a story for Doom and Doom 2. It's just a lot of, well, here's a gun, go shoot demons. That there's a lot more replayability. In Quake Arena, there's just like, I think there's story, but that you really don't need to know it. It is really just make a justification for why you're doing what you're doing, but also to a great degree, it's just yeah, it's I think like in a great way the original 2 Doom games can be kind of in a good way like mindless, where you're just killing demons, man. Yeah, there's a reason, but beyond that, who cares? I feel like with Quake, it's probably the story there's just like more justifying why you need to kill the what are they called? The Strog. I think the Strog are the baddies in Quake, I believe. So there's a reason to be fighting them. If I do recall. Yeah, at some point I'll play through the Quake games again, because I know that they have at least the first 2 have been like remastered and remade for the modern generation of consoles. Well, it's an opportunity I get. I'm going to be playing Doom and Doom 2, so it's going to be released for a console. I will probably take an opportunity to play it. I played a little bit of the remake of the first Quake on Xbox. It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I'll get back to this like later on. I fully intend to. It's just, well, neurodivergent brain has me just worrying about 100,000 things at once. So. I kind of pick it up and put it down and forget about it, unfortunately. But I do have the first 2 Quake remakes on my Xbox because they're on Game Pass, since Microsoft owns the studios responsible for they own id, who's responsible for Quake and Quake 2 and Doom and all that. Got any more painting? And nope, I go in here. There's blood there. We need to scrub-a-dub-dub. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Oh, scrubbing. Okay. Now that wall's clear. Now we can hang the painting.
Don't think about falling again.
Well, it didn't fall, Kowalski. It got probably yoinked off the wall and then thrown. I don't... Scrubbed up bunch, exactly. Yeah, it's very square. So it does go in the first area. Okay, I wasn't sure. Not only is it like scrubbed up and all that, it's like we're doing it with fire and ice. Gonna rotate. There we go. While we're over here. Scrub up the blood. Let me finish grabbing loose odds and ends in this area. Plus, I know I transported to the musical area as well. What other loose ends do we have in here? Okay, you go there. So you're painting there. Do you by chance... Hey, you do by chance fit there. Nice. Yes, we'll call strawberry jam. Yes. Is this all in this area? We've got this door. We got painting. Give me that. Do you? This may not go in here. No, it goes somewhere else in this area. Okay, cool. Coo. A secret. Hey, buddy, you good? No? Alright, figured I'd ask. To the other mop. He's definitely seeing better days. See if we can nope, okay.
The best defense is a good offense.
Something like that. Oh.
The dinosaur went on a killing spree.
Let me... Alright, now get the door open so I can go place this on the dino real quick. missing two. Nope, nope, it's that one. There we go. Correct, that was a foot. Wrong foot, though, for a moment. Alright. What do we got in here as well? We got a dead body who needs to not be here no more. No more, no more. You gonna take a nap in there? We also gonna clean this mop while we're here. Alright, golden chair. And we gonna beat the stain. Gotta beat the stain. Punch the stain. Make it submit. I was gonna say other stuff, but no, I'm not. I'm not gonna say make the stain other things. No. Okay. Sure. You go there. I think I know the exhibit where that's gonna go. I just haven't found the area yet. Is bring out the dead. Bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet. You'll be dead soon. I'm not dead yet. It's fine. You'll be dead soon. We need to... God, I do really wish that the soundboard on Discord was a lot bigger, because there's mostly Monty Python bits I could think of that'd be funny to put on a soundboard, but it might be like, I might have my own soundboard that I could do, but I'd want it to be a communal one. This does not go here. What am I trying to do? Or maybe it does. We will leave you here for the moment. I think. Maybe that painting goes here. Let me try that over that area. I can see where I'm going. Nope, 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 nope. This one. Christmas. There it goes. Yes. Excellent. Alright. Well, let's go in the security room, I guess. Ooh, you don't belong here. You back that way. There's a painting. Let's see, this will hang. There, now it's hanging. It's on trilogy at some point in a bit. It really is better because you, whether it's just you are remembered of something, there's definitely times where just you'll forget a bit. And it's just funny. So, indeed, indeed, I probably should try to take some time to watch through the movies at some point as well. I don't think any of these warp me directly to the security office, so this will have to do. So I got two of these musical instruments. Let's get you stood up there, Bubba. Let's get painting. I think to the... I think it goes to the starting area. It's quite square. There we go. Square without a frame. Square without a frame. Interior. Red area. That's the music area. Okay. Let's grab you. Where'd it go? Okay, and... You all stood up. Get you all stood up. There we go. You got you can rock out with your never mind. You if you go there. TV series, they did. It's about as much treasure as the trilogy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I've definitely probably watched bobs and bits from the show. Because definitely were some of the gags that people know, like the Ministry of Silly Walks is from the show. A bit about spam. They did a bit about spam. Which... is I know there's like a story of how like the skit they did about food spam became why it is that we call junk messages and excess messaging and all that spam today. I think it probably goes back to I think somehow it's just like early internet just how it happened. I can't remember what the story is. Might just be that maybe somebody like needed a name for it, and they like Monty Python, and they just watched that spam skit. It might be as simple as that. It's probably a bit more complicated than that, but like, yeah, that's. It shows the power of. Just like of the internet, I suppose. Cool. Now that's connected together. That symbol goes over here. Okay. It's the T-Rex's arm. While I'm in here, let me just straighten up what I can. I'm trying to think of, I know that there's, like the Dead Parrot sketch from the show, Ministry of Silly Walks. Also Monty Python is whenever something completely different comes from. Dragon Food, probably a bad idea. Made it work. think I'd also had seen where they had done a bit about since it's like World Cup, people were able to find the clip again where they were doing, it was a soccer match between like ancient Greek and more modern German philosophers, and just I don't think the whole thing is, but like it leads very much to just a bunch of jokes at the end about what each philosopher would be all about, and it's something if you know your Greek and ancient Greek and your more modern German philosophers, then it's a really funny joke, a bunch of funny jokes about that. There's a lot of really funny bits. And again, there's just so many that just I don't know about, and it'd be a complete joy and pleasure to see them for the first time, because some of them are still probably freaking hilarious. Punch. Oh no, you're dead, so punching you is kind of rude. But I did it anyway. Alright, you. Mother, I did not say do that. I said, or I was gonna say, get in there.
Fully relaxed, not knowing someone is about to stab him. Peaceful death. To some extent.
But I've seen the other movies. I know I've seen Life of Brian. I don't think I've seen Meaning of Life. At least I don't recall if I did or not. I know I've seen Life of Brian. I know there was one time I was over at Barnes' house and we watched it there. I don't think I've seen Meaning of Life. If I have, then it's been forever and a day since I saw it. It's probably one where I probably know a lot of references from Meaning of Life. I just don't know it. And then Life of Brian's probably one where I know more of the references than I probably recognize. I think it like the movie like ends with them all being on the cross and singing "Look on the bright side of life" as they're being crucified, which that comes from that being a execution technique, because you'd be attached to that cross, and not the most pleasant way to go. Can't remember all the grisly details about exactly what happened, but I think it's one of those where it's just, in order for you to alleviate your pain in one way, you have to put yourself in pain in a different way, I think. And you'd be left up there to just, in part, probably just like to starve. But I don't think that's how you died. I think there's something about how you're like all tethered together and how your arms are outstretched. That's, in some way, would be a slow and painful death. And yeah, since that's how Jesus Christ was killed by the Romans, that's why the Catholic, not the Catholic, but like the Christianity as a whole uses what used to be an execution device as one of their main symbols. Which people can say that's, it's a thing, like it represents like, there's like good meaning to it, but then also again it's just like, yeah, this is an execution device. It'd be similar to just saying, yeah, the key symbol of my religion is a guillotine or an electric chair or something. It's kind of in that same vein. Except those other two are really gory ways of doing it. They're much more graphic ways of killing people. Although, if I can remember the details of how being crucified worked, and that's not, again, it's not like you're like just like, oh, I'm getting a gentle stretch. It's like, no, you slowly dying. It ain't no good. It bad. It bad. Yeah, you. Why not like this? I don't know. Probably, this dude looks kind of goofy. You're like, hi. I'm an ancient creature. Okay, that's more badass that way. Okay. Oh, that felt good. Ooh, that felt good. Okay. So we're going to mess with OBS for a moment. Sorry, having brain fart because I want to take a moment to stretch, because, or at least check my posture, because I've been kind of sitting in a position like this for a bit now, and well, I ain't staying the most pleasant. Ooh, you don't go here. So this should be done. That's my stuff on my computer. Doesn't matter right now, but I did it anyway. Okay, you are there. You and you go elsewhere. To declare, I believe you go right here. Then we need to go get the arm of the T-Rex. T-Rex can claw food if necessary. I am still missing a tail bit for the dinosaur. For the T-Rex.
What is that even for? I'm in.
I feel like Monty Python references were probably one of those things that just kind of get kind of like scattered throughout. I know for sure when I first started watching, because I know that when Byron was in, well, when Byron and we were in high school, he was in band in high school. And one thing they would do from time to time is they would watch Monty Python. But the first time I know I watched it for sure was, like Deanna like gave me the DVD one time of Monty Python the Holy Grail. That would have been, I think that would have been 2011. That's when I first watched Holy Grail. So now I guess now it'd be 15 years for sure. Consciously, I've developed Monty Python. Mighty Python just recently crossed 50 years, so yeah, 15 years for me. 1-5. But again, I'm certain there were references to it all the time that I just didn't recognize. So I didn't know. Similar to, there's a band, The Offspring, that I've apparently like loved their songs for years, but I just didn't know it was them. One of the songs that they did first introduction to the band The Offspring was All I Want, which is in Crazy Taxi. And didn't know it was them. So then when I discovered multiple songs by The Offspring, I realized, oh, I've liked their stuff for like forever. Maybe I knew about Flying Circus prior to, maybe I knew about Flying Circus, because I feel like, so, back, and probably still happens today, where if you were to stay up, maybe it doesn't happen anymore, but like, at least like, for a long time, at least on television, you stayed up late enough, we're talking like 2, 3 in the morning watching broadcast television, they eventually would just have infomercials for various things. And some of them would be for, like, hey, you know, get the complete collection of some show. Or, I know, like, Shirley Temple was a child actress from, the 1930s, maybe? It was sometime around there. It was, like, way before my time. And it'd just be like, you can buy the whole collection of Shirley Temple's, you know, movies and all that. And, you know, she adorable little girl singing songs and all of that. And they probably did one also for Mighty Python's Flying Circus. I feel like I remember seeing advertisements for being able to buy episodes of Flying Circus from way back in the day. Again, this would be like, it was like early internet, but this was like long before we all had this idea of like, oh wait, or be able to like, oh, I could like buy the whole thing just like digitally, where DVD was still the thing, because internet just probably was not set up, and maybe even hard drives were not in a place to where you could just buy and own something digitally. So I probably knew about Flying Circus for a long time, and just like, oh, that's kind of neat, that's kind of funny, you know, but I don't think I ever watched it, I don't think. But like 2011 was like, I watched Mighty Python, The Holy Grail finally, and Byron had talked about it for years. He'd watch it with, you know, like in band class from time to time when they were just probably like needing something to do, and that thing of like, oh, I understand why this is great, you know. Okay, I keep going all over God's creation. Trying to think what area I need to go to next. Try to clear out the things. So I think this area is clear of anything that's not belonging. What more is in this security room? You're missing an office chair. What are you missing? Okay, you're missing masks. But also you have this. And that. That goes... I think it's out here. Yep, right there. Bloop. And then... try the quickest way back to where I just was. I guess it's this way. I don't walk that way. Dum-dum. Gotta walk this way. Ooh. If you want to see like the Shirley Temple thing I'm talking about, I think if you probably look up on YouTube like Shirley Temple collection commercial, you could probably find it there. Whereas I think back then, you had to like buy it off of this infomercial. Meanwhile, today you probably just go on YouTube and look up, Shirley Temple movies and find them there. And there's probably so much also you can like legitimately buy them as well, digitally. And the thing of like, yeah, during like it's 1930s when she was doing her thing. I think also if you were to look more into it, you'd find like, oh, she was probably not treated like the best either. Oh boy. Probably a lot of like, oh no, take these, Shirley. Like, oh no, we gotta dye her hair, Shirley. You gotta stay blonde. I'd have to. I know that Shirley Temple did a lot. What else did she do after she was a child star? It was advocacy of some sort. Maybe advocacy for kid stars. That's what she may have done. I don't want to say that without double checking it, though. I remember reading that she'd done stuff like, oh, that's cool stuff that she did, but I can't remember what it was now, unfortunately. Well, that's not been very impressive. It was impressive, but it's just been a hot minute since I read it. Yes, first area. Here's the paint. There we go. Those infomercials that are like, hey, you can buy collections of, like, from this show or this thing that was done with these stars you never heard of. That's probably why I'm kind of aware of stuff that's before my time. Is just you watch those infomercials, you essentially just maybe like fall asleep on the couch and you wake up to them just blaring really loudly all of a sudden because they want to get your attention, I would, more about I want to be hurting your ears if I can help it. Is that all that's in here? Okay, yeah, this area's cleared. Where to next? I probably need to step away for a moment to go feed Olive as well, actually. Well, you don't go here. You probably and do go here. Let's see. That area, and this area. Let me step away for a moment. Let me go feed Olive real quick, and then we'll go to this area next. I will be right back. Yeah, unfortunately, there's some series that are only on Prime, which kind of annoys me, because Amazon needs to just not be so hateful to its people. But yeah, I'll be right back after I feed Olive. There we go. Watch this series on Prime. Yeah, it's a thing of something it's a kind of always be pointed out is that
Praise the Duck Lord.
there can be really great ideas that greedy executives will always want to find a way to just milk for every penny and ruin a perfectly good idea. So, for example, people are going to be always mad like, oh, why is there day one patches and all that? It's like, because they have to go on disk at some point. They have to stop development at some point. And it used to be that there was a game-breaking bug in a game. Well, you might have to wait for another physical copy with a different version on it so that you can maybe play it. Or maybe it's like, it's just a game-breaking bug and there's nothing you can do about it. Meanwhile, today, you can fix it. The unfortunate thing is that it's led to executives going like, oh, we can just release it and patch it later. So now games keep coming out not done because devs are able to and then forced to just release it as is and fix it later. But again, like, patching is a great thing. DLC can be a great thing. It's like, hey, we got this game done, now we can add to it. But then corporate execs are like, ooh, we could, like, release only some of the game, and then maybe we'll pay for the rest of it, kind of thing. And it's like, y'all ruin that. Again, DLC, you can add to it and add value. With streaming, it's something of, hey, you can watch this thing, like, whenever you want, and you can have, like, 5 other series that are just like it you can watch as well. The problem became, though, of just Netflix would have, like, everything, but then everybody had to have their own streaming service, and just you need, multiple streaming services to watch everything. And NFL's going through that, where you need just all these different streaming services to be able to watch all the games if you want. Because certain games are only on Netflix, or only on Prime, or only on Peacock, or only on something else. So if you want to watch all the games, you can't, unless you happen to have all the streaming services. And PlayStation is like, oh yeah, we're going to go all digital by 2028. And there's people that are now just fearful that if everything keeps going digital, the only way we're going to be able to preserve old games will be just people pirating them. And I think it's a thing of, yeah, people have said that pirating went down significantly after Netflix first went streaming and all that, because you could watch whatever you want there. But then once you start needing, 5 streaming services and the price keeps going up, you're going to have people be like, I can pirate. I can learn how to pirate stuff, Movie references. There's some of these that I can identify. There's others I'm not 100% sure about. But yeah, it just, we're probably going to see a big uptick again, unsurprisingly, of people just pirating movies and shows and games, because just being left no other choice. It's like you're asking for an ever-increasing amount of money to not even own it. Going back to Sony, they recently just deleted, I think it was like 500 movies out of people's digital libraries. They're like, yeah, it sucks to be you. You don't own these movies anymore. It's going to go into the terms of service and the licensing agreements and all the agreements we all just have almost no choice. But it's kind of like glance through real quick, it becomes a thing of, yeah, you don't own anything. You're owning essentially like an open-ended ability to lease this thing until we say you can't watch it or play it anymore. Bastards. Well, certain things like you may not be able to get a DVD of it at all. That's what the problem can be. Some of these things that probably have never been on DVD. And you're gonna have Sony just being like, yeah, no, we're not gonna have any more physical games anymore after 2028. Which everybody is rightfully very upset about. For a myriad of reasons. I don't like the fact that GTA 6 apparently is not going to have a physical edition. It's going to have a physical edition where it's just, oh, you got a game case, but then it's a code in a box, and it's just... I feel like it's no problem with things being digital. It's when they're only digital, and everything is only digital. That's the problem. Also, Sony wouldn't say, oh, like 80% of people buy stuff digitally, and people dug deeper. It's like, okay, look here, you lying sacks of everything. You were rolling in games that were never going to have a physical edition. You were, including like DLC purchases. I think they may even include like, PlayStation Plus purchases and. Like, see, we have 80% of games are bought digitally, and people are like, no, they're not. That's not what that's not what this data actually says. Stop lying. So it's just, and there's people that have been loyal to Sony from the PlayStation that are probably just looking at this going like, nope, I'll just figure out how to make a gaming PC, or they'll like jailbreak their old PlayStation 3s, 4s, and 5s to be able to continue playing games and to play other games, and just it's a thing of giant corporations are gonna have to really start getting. They can try to like yell and scream and curse and stomp their feet. They don't want people stealing their stuff, but it's like you push people hard enough, they're gonna just find a way to say, screw your system, I'm doing it this way. And be able to own it and not have it be at your discretion that it's suddenly now just gone. Just humans don't like being told what to do. And this isn't something like, oh, like, for 50 years we've done something one way or the other. It's like you still have my generation alive. Very much alive. We remembered physical, and we were the ones that did the transition from physical to. I talked about it yesterday. Like we were the ones that led the charge from the analog and leading the change from analog to digital. So many of us are still going to remember how to pirate stuff. Xbox, bunch of choices. I think they're turning things around. I feel like Xbox might have somebody that's actually kind of sensible in charge. I know that she said, hey, let's cut back the price of Game Pass, and there's some other decisions she's made that are good, but it's still Microsoft in charge of. It's still a corporation in charge. I said this wants to make more and more and more money. Screw the peasants, kind of stuff. And I think there's been a story about how Xbox was working on technology to where you can kind of like scan a disc and get a digital copy of your library, I think. I don't know all the details about that. If Xbox wants to make a big, deep crevice into get a part of the market share, they can say like, oh yeah, we're gonna have digital. We have a physical disk drive. If you want it, you can have a physical disk drive and not try to do the digital thing, because it's, especially if they let the price of consoles get out of hand, people just looking, you're like, well, I mean, why am I going to get a game console that's a lot of money with a storefront that you can just shut down at will, when I can go on PC and get my games from Steam or GOG.com or from any number of other storefronts? I feel like Microsoft could still be susceptible and Xbox could still be susceptible to corporate greed, but I feel like that there's people at least trying to do somewhat the right decision. I would hope. So it's something of just, I don't think they're going full Sony, but they can still be wanting to push us in a direction that we don't want to go in. Sony just seems dead set, like, nope, we're going all digital. And I will hope that it costs those executives a lot. It's just going to be a awful thing. There's going to be a lot of, of the smaller people further down the food chain. They're going to have to suffer for it. So what annoys me so much is that, because we need to boycott, we need to not buy certain things, we need to do all those things, but it's a problem of just the executives will just find a way to just write it off. We're like, oh, they strong arm it through, because people point out that technically streaming kind of got strong armed on us, where it's something that's neat. I definitely buy games digital all the time, but I still want to buy certain games that I absolutely love on a hard disk. It's something that just, whenever I ask a game for Christmas, for example, it's always going to be easier and feel more special when it's like, hey, here's a physical thing you can own, versus Mom had to get creative a few times, and it's not the same when it's, because just in our family, we can be creative with dressing it up. I know there was one time I was gifted a pay-per-view from WCW, and the way that it was wrapped was a sticky note that said the name of the pay-per-view. I think it was Road Wild, Hog Wild, whatever, when it would have been soon after, or one in like January one year, and it was the name of the pay-per-view written on a sticky note in a box that you get checks in with 2 batteries, so you shake it like, hey, it rattles around, and it was a way to present the pay-per-view in a way. So there's just so many just not great things about us being forced to go all digital. Just a myriad of reasons, and I would hope that just if Xbox is smart, they'd be like, oh no, we're still going to do physical media. They still have to overcome the thing of, because of the stupid AI bubble, it's jacked up prices for computer parts, so it's something where they can't just easily just like eat the cost necessarily, because the consoles are so expensive that they can't eat that much cost, and just try to recoup it on the back end with subscriptions and first party titles and all that. Or you'll get to a point where people will look and go like, well, I mean, I can just buy a PC, and again, I can go to all these various storefronts that aren't going to do any of these stupid decisions, because of a storefront like Steam tries to find a way to restrict what you can do with your games, or tries to just yank them out of the library. People are like, well, I can just go to this other storefront and I can just get it there and never go back to that storefront. The problem with Sony or even Xbox saying, you can only buy it digitally is going to be, we can only buy it on their storefront, and they have no competition, so why are they going to bother getting better? You should have a choice between digital and physical. And the thing about why why, besides just the fact there's multiple storefronts on PC, is that I haven't, like, toyed with it much, but there's very much a thing of you may not physically own a game from GOG or from Steam, but you own it. You can just play it. There's no DRM that's locking it down all of the time. That's why people will say it's not the same to compare the all digital on PC, since I don't remember the last time I think my laptop from college had a, I think it's been a long time since I've like had a disk drive come with a computer. I think my laptops did, but like this gaming rig doesn't have a CD drive. I could probably get one and attach it, but the thing of, in a very strong way, anything that I've bought on Steam, anything you've bought on Steam, you actually own. You can like move it around and all that. And there's some games that they're so small that it's silly to spend a whole disc or a whole whatever the physical medium is for it. But again, it's a thing of just, for me, it's like, this game means so much to me. I have this means so much to me. I had a disc of it. And with GTA 6 being all digital, I've lost out on that. And so we're going to lose out on that, because it's just like, I don't get, there's games that I've bought digital that I could get a physical copy of, possibly. But it means more to, like, hold this. And I think it's like, I own it as well. I haven't thought about it that way, but I own it. And if you have a digital storefront shut down, then that's one less way for people to be able to potentially buy the game, if ever. But digital and streaming, it can do that, where maybe you're not going to be able to justify making a bunch of physical copies anymore. But if it's digital, people can just go buy it, and then be able to play it that way. And one of the things where it's such a short-sightedness on their part, because, again, if you just let people create stuff and don't get in the way all the time, you can have a thing of people will buy the old games that are digital, and they're like, 5 or more years old, let's say. And then if people like really love the series, you can then say like, well, hey, we're getting that team together, and they're going to make another one, and you can have people get hyped up for it. You also can have people like, ooh, I saw that, I've heard my friend like that a lot, let me go play the old games. They go buy the old games. They're like, now I want to buy it. Now you've reinforced, not only do you have them like buying the copies of the old games that are digital, even if it's first, like, maybe if it's not full price, because they should be after a while, they should be a lower price point, then have them buying the new game as well. Just, it's one of these moments where it's just like, y'all execs are actually kind of stupid. Y'all execs are like really, really dumb sometimes, and so freaking short-sighted. I don't... The more stuff I see of how corporate executives talk and think and act, the more I'm like, how did y'all get rich in the first place? How did y'all, like... I think, like, I can understand, but also I'm just like, but that sounds like so much work. When you could... Also, like, rich people should be a thing, like, well, you find a way to have, like, stuff, like, make money for you, and then they want to keep sticking their nose in it and keep nickel and diming, nickel and diming, nickel and diming. I'm like, you're getting in the way of it. And it becomes a thing, like, you're inevitably going to have people just be like, nope, I'm tired of your crap, and going back and doing it a different way. May not be immediate, but at a certain point, people will be like, no, I'm tired of this crap, I'm going to do it this way. I'm not going to do it your way, because your way just blows all of the really awful, awful chunks. I don't know where that painting goes. So digital has its place, but it's, above all else, it's not necessarily something of not liking a way things are done, but it's always you should have an option and a choice. And even if it's just personal preference. It might be a thing of, like, I buy digital games all the time. I've bought games that, I've got games that are, a bit older. Like first Dead Space, for example, the original Dead Space. I bought that digitally. That's a good use of it, because it got me to be like, hey, I like this series. And then it got me buying the remaster when it came out a few years ago. It reinforced it, made it get Dead Space. If it wasn't for EA being sketchy, I'd potentially play Dead Space in October, but EA might in part be owned by Saudi Arabia, which just... There's actually national security concerns about them being able to own all that information, since EA is one of those, we're going to collect a bunch of information just because we can, fuck you, peasant. So apparently, like, even like in the government, that people be like, we don't know about this investor group containing the Saudis that are going to own EA. We don't know about that. That seems dangerous, because it is. But, again, I'm certain that you can actually just be assured that people will buy a game digitally, and then they'll want to buy the next in the series because, like, oh, this game is really awesome, actually. There'll be people that buy, I'm trying to think right now, it's like they buy like Witcher 3 digitally. They've bought it digitally, and then they love it because Witcher 3 is actually a really good game. I've never gotten through because of neurodivergent brain. And then they're excited for Witcher 4. They were excited, might be excited, like, oh, I like Witcher. They're going to make Cyberpunk 2077. Well, let me try the Cyberpunk 2077 game they're talking about. And yeah, it was a buggy mess because they were sitting across a really weird generational gap, but they resolved it. And apparently even the story, if you look at like the history of like Witcher 3, they had to take a while to stabilize it and get it to spit polished shine that it's at. So it's just, I guess I feel like executives just, they're weirdly short-sighted. They're weirdly short-sighted, I feel like. And it's true because they just want to care about the next quarter. Then they can, like, leave, go somewhere else and try to raise their value and make the line go up for their next company's stock and then cash out and all that. I hate executives. But again, it's like, and just like Steam and GOG and all of that is like, all digital is fine, but you can't be having it to where, oh yes, we can just take it away at any moment like Sony did. With PC, it's just a thing of no storefront can shut it all down because somewhere out there will be the thing that somebody wants, the movie, the show, the whatever. It might be less than legal, but hey, if you make the legal means a pain or unreliable, then people are just, they'll pirate it and just be like, I don't care, I want it, and you're not going to assure my ability to keep watching or owning or whatever. Give people options, don't shoehorn people into anything. Shoehorn them into stuff is stupid. Oh, it's murring and meowing. Oh no, there is a way in there. Okay. I'm trying to think, I know I need to get to one more area because I know where some of this furniture goes. Let me... that out of the way. And get... fine, I'll close all this stuff first. Again, you can probably go look around the internet. Somewhere on the internet you'll find people explaining why it is that trying to compare the all-digital stuff of computers is not the same as the all-digital, like, PlayStation. And again, it's gone to digital rights management, DRM. Where it's a thing of, you can just take your files for the game and you can still play them. And give people a choice, don't strong arm them to do something. You greedy SOBs, and Executive C-suite. I broke a glass. Dang it. Steam is a big example of like treat people right and you'll be able to make lots of money. It's a novel concept. Apparently a bunch of execs just don't want to do. They want to find a way to nickel and dime and control and all of that and milk it. But again, Steam just shows like just treat people well. Just respect them and let them do as they please, and you can make lots of money. Oh, I know where this goes. It could be a thing if it can seem like, oh, like Steam's a monopoly. No, it's not. Because Steam's not owning everything. Steam's just, like, really freaking good at what they're doing. And people like how Steam does business. So Steam gets lots of business. And treat people well. Novel concept. And they won't try to steal your stuff or try to... Don't be a dick, don't be an idiot, exactly. And also tax the ultra wealthy, that way they don't have the power to just strong arm stuff through, because that's part of the problem right now, is that you have people with so much money that they can just eat loss after loss after loss when it comes to money for years to force something to happen if they want. It needs to also just be a level playing field where somebody can't just eat losses until finally their way is the only way of doing it, because they've just been able to force it long enough. Because I think people had pointed out that just streaming services were not terribly profitable at first, but they were able to, people had enough money to just ride out the unprofitability until we've gotten to where we are now. For better and for worse. But Steam is an example of it. You can just do the right thing and you will, like, be good. But there's a certain point where it's not about profitability. It's about just saying, well, we own everything. And we want to keep making our value go up indefinitely, even though there's, like, no point after a while. Where they're just making their overall net worth go up and up and up, but... Oh, I've seen this both. Where is it? Shoot. I think... Just being as wealthy as some of these people are, it does seem to borderline, it actually probably is some kind of mental disorder, whether it's narcissism or whatever it is. Like you're narcissistic, or you're just a sociopath, a psychopath that just does not feel emotion, just... You don't feel bad for people at all. Everybody is just numbers to you. Just a way to keep increasing your net worth to $1 trillion, like a certain sad motherfucker from South Africa did. He wants to be loved so badly, but also he can go fuck himself. Fucking asshole. Elon Musk wants to be so cool. But he's not even close to cool, fucking loser. Room, blue and yellow, blockbuster art special. Yeah, kinda is, yeah. But yes, we will continue my rich tradition of fuck the ultra wealthy. Because fuck them. A bunch of assholes. Alright, you come with me, Bubba. Keep laying on that table. It's probably not good for your spine. Granted, you're also dead, so that's probably not good for your spine neither. Okay, get in there. Phew. Okay. Know that you go somewhere over the rainbow. Bridgeport, this one. No. Crab flabbit. Crab flabbit. Here. Crab flabbit. Okay, I need a chair wherever it is. I'll put the cushions on it. Me? No. Yes, okay. Oop. Why do I keep thinking? There we go. There we go. That goes there. Okay, then we got those chairs. And we got a painting up our painting. You don't go in here. I think I know where you might go. If I can see where I'm going. It's hard to do with this big freaking painting in my way. Nice. There's also another area I need to. I'm seeing more paintings to collect, not seeing where they go.
Tell your boss this place belongs to us now. You know not what you do.
We know exactly what we're doing.
All hail the Wicked One!
Shooting a bit. Okay. Punch, 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 punch. Water, punch, water, punch, 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 punch. Punch. Punchy punch. What are you doing? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But it's having fun. Pull out a mop, because that makes more sense. Stab this guy, because he probably killed someone. But now he's dead. Who cares? Blood. No more blood. Heck yeah. And mother. There we go. All that I didn't even check the thing I was gonna check. Huge. I do that with my phone sometimes. Right, open up to check something, and then I go look at like 5 other things. I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna look up something in particular, wasn't I? I am wanting to see if up here is where oh, you're actually missing some framed artwork. Okay, so that does go up there. Through here, go through there. We place. We do a boop, and then we do another little boop. There we go. That's placed there. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Art room where we defy gravity and each other block with your art special. Yes. Welcome to art. Where it doesn't make sense sometimes. But that's fine. It can force you to reflect and think. Because there'll definitely be times where the point is not necessarily what the artist was intending, but it's how it makes you feel, what makes you think, and all of that. Table goes there. Okay. But there's probably some particular message that the artist was going with and make all that furniture floating. That's a message of something or something to make you think about. Doing here, I believe. I do believe. I just sneeze, and also I thought they assaulted the microphone, so I am sorry for the assaulting of the microphone. Okay. And we are going. Oh, that's the problem that I had. So I don't. Go. No. And y'all are saying you're missing framed art. Do you not? Well, they have the dead fish that becomes a fossil, which you put in a scientific museum. I mean, dead fish skeleton could be art, but I can't tell you that's going for that being a fossil. Be like, this is what fish look like. There we go. Okay, so I need one more framed art piece somewhere. It's hidden. Doo-doo. By God, he dropped the jail. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Let's see the dinosaur tail piece that I'm missing. I need to go through this door. Whoosh. Whoosh and whoosh. See that? And this way. Whoosh.
If the time comes, I hope you will spare me.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't. There we go. Okay, the T-Rex is complete. Yes, indeed it does. It do look like fish. It do. It do, thankfully. Alright. Do here. See if we can finish this one Arctic exhibit. After that, it might just be a thing of running around and hunting for anything that's still missing. Give me the chair. Mother... I can't... Mother... There we go. That only just took a bit. Hey, that's from the chair. Well, it ain't jank, it's just, so much that it's hard to see with the chair in the way, and some of it's also just the chair's reacting like it should to objects, so how would you program it better? I don't know if I could. I feel like unless you're just going to say, like, well, this chair is just, or any object you're carrying is not going to have, like, physics that's going to react with stuff. That's the best way to program all of this. I'll chair back later. Hey. To remember that. And also having a thing of they don't like that's doing that either, but they're also just like, we can't program it to work any better. Anything we try just ends up worse, or it requires us changing it to work in a way that we don't like for some reason or another. Gold chair. Yep.
Yellow to yellow.
Okay, so you're still missing a globe. I know roughly. I don't think there's any jargon, but it's just the truth of just may not be able to figure out. It may not necessarily be a thing of like program, it might just be a way of just, it's where you start getting the art of what you're doing in video games, where programmatically, yeah, you could find a way. Again, for example, you can make it to where when you're carrying an object, it's technically like not invisible, but it's like it's not actually there. There's just the physical like outline of it, but it's not actually there. There's no collision for it. Meanwhile, they're doing it where like no, there's like collision. It's like that this leaf that's here is actually like there, and you're moving it around. It's not like, I'm trying to remember what it would be losing. So that's like the hit box, like. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is like technically like wouldn't do, but just like. It also could be a thing. This is not meant to be a jumping simulator. Like 99% of this game, your like feet are secure on the ground. You're not trying to like climb up a exhibit like that. It's probably one of those like it's just a weird part of the game. Nothing right or wrong, but in order to make that part of the game work, it'd be like, well, it's only like this one time you're having to do. Is it worth us spending like 3 weeks trying to get it to work perfectly, or is it a thing of like, we got other things we can do, we got other bugs we need to figure out, we got other features we need to do, we need to polish this and polish that, we don't really need to worry about that jumping part of it. It's just like that one little bit. I think in the story you have to do it so you can like hop over and unlock the cafe area, and right here where you saw it, it's just me trying to get that chair in the proper place. And I am, now that I'm like moving my hands around a lot more, I'm starting to think I need to slightly widen the face cam box a little bit, or in this case probably like, widen it a little bit more. I can like see you like pointing and moving my hand and all of that. I don't think it's going to be really affecting how much you see of the screen that badly. I might need to think about it for whatever. I think I figured it out. Brain boot. I can do it at the cafe. I think the cafe has got probably like got various things left. I know where you're probably going to go. If I want to throw computer science jargon, I could talk about just, big O notation. It's one thing I could talk about. I could talk about, double point precision for decimals. What else could I throw around? That's a bit of a comp sci thing. Probably like the page factory model, object-oriented programming, methods and functions. Again, I think it's really just the jumping around thing again. As I said, like it's just a design thing of the objects that you're carrying are solid, and the jumping around thing, they're probably not going to spend forever and a day trying to get right, because like it's only the one segment. There's no other time you're supposed to be climbing like that. Sometimes you can, but it's not necessary. So rest my case on that, Your Honor. are square. So if I search the reason, maybe you don't. This must go. Alright, then where would that go? Because it honestly didn't fit the theme of there. That's why I was starting to think that this needed to go elsewhere. Think for a moment. I think I know where that painting that I just took down off the wall might go. Clean, clean. Clean, 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 clean. There's more blood over here, then more blood all over the place. Because people probably got shanked. That probably hurt to get shanked. I haven't been shanked in my life, but it seems like it would hurt. You need 5 more. 5 more. 5 more. 5 more. 5 more. I broke some glass shit. No, I don't want to punch it. That would make it worse. There we go, like it never ever happened. What's wrong with me? I don't know sometimes. You need to go in there. There we go. There we go. That is done. That's where that went. Okay. And there allegedly be something's placed in here, it seems. And that's not good. Locker check. Fridge check? No, no fridge check. Okay. Nothing missing. Nothing was placed in there. I'm going off of the presumption that it's saying that there's a misplaced exhibit in this area, and there's something in here that shouldn't be. I don't see where it is. Whatever. Okay, I might need to just go section by section to see. Oh, that was a good stretch. Okay. I know in here you also got some stuff floating about, don't you? You got this elephant. Now the cafeteria's officially cleared. It's official. Hit the card. You're missing a horse, you're missing a painting. That looks like pictures of cats. That's awesome. Oh, there it is. Done. At least there. Okay. I am missing a couple of different statues. 1, 2, 3 statues missing. Missing an egg and missing another fish fossil. But there's some blood somewhere. You're done. Yeah, when I get the controller, I'll be able to do it, because I can try to do it with this controller, but the left stick keeps getting kind of, we're not going to stuck leaning forward a little bit. And with this one controller, the left bumper is dead. It's not like, oh, what a cage up. No, it's dead. So again, I just need the new controller. Which I think it's, last I checked, it left China. So it seems like it's a good chance, unless it wants to slow down again. It seems like when I'm going to do the next, let's see. I think we're still a few. 17, 18. Yeah, I think when it's the next batch of stream dates. I would hope that like by next weekend I have that new controller, and if I get it on the day that I'm gonna stream, I'll unbox it on stream and then use it, and hopefully it won't suck. But if I get it like, let's say Wednesday, I'll record unboxing it, and then heck, maybe even just try it on, like, have a video where I unbox it and then try it in a game or two. Because content. That's how content creators do it, right? And also stress that they are not sponsored by, I think the company is Game Sir. I'm not sponsored by them. I just bought their product because I needed a controller and I liked how they looked. Yeah, something like that. Content. Okay, we got the horsey. No. Yeah, because again, I need controller that works, because like left bumper is dead. You cannot play a game by Rockstar Games. You cannot play Grand Theft Auto Red Dead Redemption because you lose your ability to hit the weapon wheel, and you kind of need that in those games because people like to shoot at you. Meanwhile, Gears of War, for example, you can get away with it because you just don't have your TACCOM, which is how you see where what your objective is and where your teammates are. You can get away without it. Those are the first Gears. It's any of them are like they're very linear, so it's only but so lost you could be able to get. You might have a problem of a teammate like Byron occasionally like, hey, you know, I found a grenade over here. I'm like, where are you at? And there's no way for him to mark it or anything like that. So, but it comes down to like the absolute worst case scenario for like a day or I'm hoping for like a day or two. I still don't have the controller, then we'll need to. Yeah, so like it'll be more games that are on my PC. Or I try to find Xbox games that don't require the left bumper. Or I bite the bullet and just go out to a store and just buy another one. And spend way more on a controller than yeah, it's like $30 for the wire controller I'm going to be getting. It's supposed to be like good. You're just missing something. You're all clear. Here's a misplaced exhibit. Oh, I need to actually. Zip, zip, zip. Get rid of it. It wasn't here. Okay. There's supposed to be a misplaced exhibit. Oh, and while walking around, I mentioned these were movie references. I'm almost certain that that's Forrest Gump. Don't know what that one would be. Yeah, not quite sure about this one either. There's things that are they're probably like super obvious as well. Lord of the Rings. The Lion King, in particular, the scene where Scar kills Mufasa, which that scarred a generation. That could probably be a variety of things too. Alright, little bugger. And you'll go right here. Okay. We're missing the thinker. Missing the thinker, we're missing an egg, or we're missing a fish. Bloop bloop mother bloopers bloop bloop. Bloop bloop mother effer. Okay. What's in here? A fish. Just like I didn't suspect. And the thinker. It's quite funny the thinker was there, because that's how you can look when you're pooping. Plug a USB mouse and keyboard into a console and play something that supports mouse and keyboard. I'd have to look to see what games I have on my Xbox that do that. But certainly a thought if it gets to be the worst. Again, I don't think it's going to. I should have it. I'm assuming I would have it by the time I stream again on Thursday. But you never know. Again, I'd have to look into that and see which games I have that support mouse and keyboard. Looks like this might be a Barracuda. Barracuda, effing Kuga. Why the fuck are you talking and singing so weird? It's just my brain's who I am. Mother. Fuck your class. Disappeared. Haha. Don't hit me in the face. There's a painting. Actually, let's... There we go. You go.
So you can go back to being admired.
Yes. Knew I'd seen that egg somewhere. Okay. Let's do one big old checkout. Okay, here, essential exhibit. All tasks complete. Modern art music, ancient exhibit, all tasks complete. Clear my doom, how to take action. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All of them were initially on PC, so that makes all the sense in the world that they could still do that. Okay, duck exhibit, magic dolls. Upper passage. The Muzak exhibit. Furniture. Yeah, I think that's everything. Skylines. If I want to play something completely different, I can play City Skylines, yeah. Let's see if I actually got everything I should have. Yeah, City Skylines, another one of those games. It feels like it probably needs to be mouse and keyboard. It works better that way. That and real-time strategy games work better on a mouse and keyboard. You have all the keys available to you. In this game, again, feels like it plays a little better. Probably a lot of games do just fine there, but depending upon various factors. This game feels like it plays better on mouse and keyboard because you got the 1 through 9 to select your proper tool. I didn't find the music disc. Shoot. I think I played probably a SimCity game a long time ago, I imagine. Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, I did. I played at least one SimCity game ages and ages and ages ago. We're talking probably before you were born. We're talking that old. Whatever the game was, how long ago I did it. Doing that, I know there's a Steam achievement for one skin on everything. Yeah. Did someone call for pizza? Bodies or maybe both? Jesus. I feel like it may have been SimCity 2000 that I played. Maybe it's not that one, that's one around that time I would have played. Everything goes in, but only trash bags come out. Legally distinct orange cap. What the hell? Mad scientist. Hiding an alter ego. Well, I got a reason to keep playing this and keep streaming it then. Wow. Wow. Alrighty. I'll start calling dead on Nightmare potentially. It's getting kind of late. Actually, let me try to do the first level on True Cleaner. Give myself a challenge. I might be able to get that done mission actually kind of done kind of quick, because that last one's going to take a while. And if you're interested, I can keep streaming just crime scene cleaner, because I got plenty of stuff I still need to do, obviously. Honestly, as I can see. I got stuff I need to collect and all that. Okay.
I'm here.
I'm not sorry. I needed to bail. I have to be cautious.
Are you serious? We had a deal.
Just go to apartment 23. I hid the key near the door. You won't miss it. Money is inside. Bye.
Son of a... Is that how you raised your son, Paul?
Okay, so you saw me using the cleaner sense before. I cannot use cleaner sense now. I think there'll be a few other... There's probably other limitations, but that's the big one is... I can't use cleaner sense to show, hey, here's items you missed, here's blood you didn't clean up.
The key should be here somewhere. So that's where he put it.
Oh. So I'm gonna need to use like black light in order to make sure I don't miss any stains, but I have to just be like eye on the ball when it comes to it's like where things go and trash I pick up and all of that. And you can just see it seems like there's like the story mode, but and there's no cleaner sense. And there's I know there's like other upgrades that can't use. At least for stains, again, I need to black light it. Black light it, black light it. Sure. Yeah. And that.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know I signed up for this.
I need to talk to you. Can't we just do it over the phone? No, we can't. Stop sneaking around and drag your ass over here. Easy, bro. I am on my way. I'm waiting.
Now one of them is dead and the other one is screwed.
Snakes out of here.
I'm slowly growing tired of this.
I think you did there, Kowalski. Punch out the stains. There.
There. No one will even notice.
Yeah. Oh, I thought the 1920s gangster? I don't know. You didn't know where that table goes. So let's useful, beneficial to not do these missions. A lot of time between the last time you did them. Oh, I know what this goes. Goes right there. Okay. Do you by chance go there? You do. Yay, it goes there. It needs this Mike Tyson's punch out when you got this. You're asking the real questions here. I'll get the answer for you. Wish I had an answer for you. Again, don't got one. Obviously, in that game, you get gloves immediately. You actually have to.
Using mop here is pretty much as ineffective as mopping around.
I mean, you say that, Kowalski, but I mean, I'm just gonna say you might be slightly incorrect. And boop.
And yet no fun was had.
Pat, I might be late tonight. Sorry, Kathy. Why? You want a date or something? Pat, no, just gotta buy some weed and have fun. Kathy, alright. See you tomorrow. Pat, big old grinny, smiley face.
Stabbed to death. Allegedly in self-defense.
Allegedly. Yes, weed, brah, weed. Weed, brah, weed.
The murder weapon. That letter T is pretty incriminating.
Get your friend. Terry, I think it's who we're cleaning up for. World War I posters right here. Like America, like, hey, we're gonna be attacked or whatever, and then, hey, support the troops.
Damn, he's heavy. What now? I guess I put him in my trunk.
That would be the plan, Kowalski. Ooh. Did I break some glass? I probably did. Oh well. Don't know if I really care. 'Cause that's a public area. It's more concerned about the. Get your stuff up. Get your ass in there.
It was nice not knowing you.
I do believe it was, but I'll not cry you a river about it.
What the hell happened up there? What the actual fuck? Seems like our guy had another hobby. Yesterday, I was an ordinary janitor. Now, I'm dragging a dead girl to my car.
Why are you doing this
But
to me?
I have other people to look out for. Don't underestimate Dad's strength.
Certainly it's looking like his other hobby was murder, wasn't it?
Is this piece of junk still operational?
Yeah, there was a... I don't know if down here counts. I know there's like a secret here in the story, but I don't know if this...
It's like I'm sneaking into somebody's dream.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Okay. Now I know.
My stomach's already in knots. Looks like Rob was a real freak. I should never have gotten involved with this.
Yeah, it wasn't just a murderer, he was a serial killer.
Why do psychos love classical music so much?
Because they psychopaths? I don't know what to tell you, Bubba.
Things change from really, really bad to absolutely horrible.
Yeah, so this psychopath was painting
I should use a
art
sponge.
with women's blood. Because why be psychotic when you can be an absolute fucking sociopath? Yeah, let's just see if we can get you down, man.
If I bail, the cops will find out what happened here, sooner or later. This might lead them to Tyler.
Tyler, that's your friend.
Tyler will surely lead them to me. Tyler owed him him a lot of money. That's what their beef was about. What a rotten luck to end up having to cover up for a serial killer.
Mm-hmm. Ain't it grand?
That's very vintage, just like me. Damn, she was just a student. Fucking psycho.
Yeah, that's about the right word for it. Worst case when you're one to paint with people's blood. It's very psychotic. Gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna do a check in there for blood, but then I think it's all good. I think that's everything. It's a short level once you know what to do. You got some upgrades for being a little more efficient. So I'm taking a moment because
At least he didn't screw me over.
there's two bodies in there. Okay. I was trying to wonder where I put the. Yeah, it's the skin that I unlocked for trash cans. Now it's a black hole. Trash goes in, trash bags come out.
That guy who killed you? Yeah. He'll be in the body bag right next to yours. Sorry.
I think I got everything done. Anything else I'm thinking of? I think it's a secondary area. I check one area that I think is a secondary, but let me make sure it's treated as such.
How could anyone even live here?
This should be a considered a secondary area. It's not the apartment proper, so we'll see. It'll give me something to do in a future stream to try to do these in the
Three
professional.
bodies in my car. Is it still me behind the wheel?
do a pro cleaner, true cleaner challenge for these levels, because some of them would be really hard to do, honestly. Alright, that's done. Got the evidence score. All the bodies, awesome. I think I 100%ed it. Awesome. Hadn't done this level in a while, but it's an easy one, as you can see, so. I did it. Alright, I'm going to hop off stream and go eat dinner. I'm going to also see if I can go play Helldivers after I eat. If you'd like to join me on that, I'll ping the Helldivers role on our Discord server if you want to join me, and hopefully somebody else will join. So, yeah. Bye. Thank you for watching, and I'll stream again on Thursday. Might be Red Dead Redemption, might be this again. But see if I have the controller or not. And I will talk to you later.